Hello, and welcome to the session on profit and loss. My Twitter handle is Ravi Handa, and you can use that to provide feedback. Today, we'll talk about just some of the basic terms which come in handy while solving questions on profit and loss. So, what is the cost price? The price at which you buy a commodity is known as the cost price. Very similarly, the price at which you sell the commodity is known as the selling price. Then comes the question of what is the marked price? Well, it is something like the MRP, the tag which is on a particular piece of cloth. Often you would have seen that you don't actually buy objects at MRP. This is the price which is mentioned on the commodity. That is the mark price. You might be buying it at that price, you might not be buying it, but the price which is printed, that is the mark price. Then comes the question of what is profit or loss? Well, if your selling price is greater than the cost price, then you are making a profit. Whereas if your selling price is lesser than the cost price, then you are making a loss. The difference of the two, the selling price minus the cost price, that is your profit or loss. If selling price minus cost price comes out as a positive value, that would, if it comes out as a positive value, that would imply you made a profit. However, if it comes out as a negative value, that would imply that you made a loss. But absolute profits and absolute losses don't make much sense. You should have them in terms of percentages. Whether it is a profit percentage or it is a loss percentage, they are all calculated on the cost price. Please remember, this is a very common mistake that people make. Profit percentage as well as loss percentage are given by the same formula that is given here. Selling price minus cost price upon the cost price into 100. The same formula can be used for calculating your loss also. However, there is a slight difference. The difference is, in this case, it will come out as a negative percentage. Then comes the question of what is the discount? Well, the discount is whatever was the marked price, if from that you remove the selling price, that is the discount. Let's say if you're planning to buy a book which is priced at 200 rupees, but at an online store you are able to buy it for 120 rupees, then you have gotten a discount of 80 rupees. That is the mark price of 200 minus the price at which actually the book was sold, 120. That difference is your discount. Now, if you have to calculate it in terms of percentage, well, very similar to the profit and loss formula. But the point to note is the difference here, the discount, that is always calculated on the marked price. That is the difference between profit and loss and discount. Profit and loss are always calculated on the cost price, whereas the discount is always calculated on the marked price. There is another term which is, well, not as popular as profit, loss and discount, but it comes in handy. This is the markup. Say the goods that you are buying, you see they are often given at a very large discount. Does that mean that the seller is making a loss? I don't think so. In most cases, people don't sell stuff at a loss. What they have done is that they have inflated the cost. They have the MRP which they have mentioned is a bit too high. How do you know that? Well, that difference between whatever is the mark price and the cost, that is known as the markup. So the book example I would continue. You purchase the book at 120, the price which was mentioned was 200 and the cost price, let's assume, was 100 rupees. Then the markup in this case was also 200 minus 100 or 100 rupees. In terms of percentage, if you want to calculate, well, this is very similar to your profit and loss. This is calculated again at the cost price. So markup or markup percentage is calculated at the cost price. The actual markup, absolute markup, is given as the difference between the mark price and the cost price. So this is broadly the basic idea or the basic terminology which comes in handy in case of profit and loss. Please provide feedback via Twitter or via email. My mail ID is ravihanda@gmail.com. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to the advanced session on profit and loss. My Twitter handle is at the rate Ravi Handa. You can use that to provide feedback. Today we'll talk about false weights, how do they matter in profit and loss, successive discounts, that is a 40% discount, then a 50% discount and stuff like that. Another very popular case is, let's say, buy 3 goods and get 2 free and stuff like that. We'll also talk about a special case which comes in handy on some occasions, that is when 2 objects are sold at the same price. Let us start. To begin with, in the case of false weights, you will actually end up making a profit because you will be giving, or the merchant will end up making a profit because the merchant would be giving less than the actual weight. So, what will be the profit percentage? Whatever is the claimed weight, let's say he's actually giving you 960 grams, but he's charging you for a kilo. Then the claimed weight becomes 1 kilo. The actual weight is 960 grams, and that divided by the 960 minus 1 into 100, that essentially So, let us start. To begin with the first case of false weights. In this case, the merchant makes a profit because he claims to give the customer more than he is actually giving. An example would be, let's say if he uses false weight and gives you 960 grams instead of 1 kilo, then he will make a profit. What will be his profit? Whatever weight he is claiming, let's say 1 kilo in this case, minus the actual weight that he is giving you. In this case 960 grams divided by the actual weight that he is giving you, 960 grams into 100. Whatever that comes out as is going to be the profit made in case he is cheating by using false weights. In case of successive discounts, that is an A% discount, then a B% discount. If you remember, we discussed something very similar in case of percentages. You can use either that formula, but there you'll have to take care of the signs, or you can use this very simple formula for successive discounts, that is A plus B minus AB by 100. Which means, let's say if you are given a discount of 50% and then 40%, your overall discount is not 50 plus 40 or 90, but it is 50 for A, 40 for B, minus 50 into 40 by 100, which is 2000 by 100 or 20. Your overall discount will be 50 plus 40 minus 20. That essentially leads to 70%. So you can use this particular formula. Another case is, which is very popular these days, buy 3 goods, get 5 free or something like that. What is happening? In this case, you are getting a discount. But how much is the discount that you are getting? Well, that is given by y by x plus y into 100. Why this formula? Well, think of it as the goods that you are taking home. Let's say each of the goods costs 1 rupee. Then what is the marked price of the total goods that you are taking home? Marked price of the total goods is x plus y. How much did you actually pay for it? Since you bought x, you paid x rupees. So what is the discount that you got? The discount that you got was y rupees. Why? Your marked price was x plus y, you spent x rupees, the difference is the discount. And as you know, discount percentage is calculated by the actual discount, which is y, divided by the marked price, which was x plus y into 100. Moving on to a special case. Let's say when 2 objects are sold at the same price of x, one is sold at a profit of p% and the other one is sold at a loss of p%. Then what will happen? Are you overall in profits or are you overall in loss? Well, as you can see from the formula here, you are going to be in an overall loss, and the amount of the loss is given by 2p square x by 100 square minus p square. And what is going to be your loss percentage? Well, that is a much simpler formula to use and remember. It is simply p square by 100%. As an exercise, I'll recommend to you to try and figure out and try and derive both these formulas. In case you are able to do it, well and good. In case you are not able to do it, well, try harder, and you can reach out to me at Ravi Handa, which is my Twitter handle, or drop in an email to me at ravihanda@gmail.com. What I will do is I'll tell you how to get these formulas. But before sending an email or before reaching out on Twitter, please give it a try. Until and unless you try yourself, you're not going to learn much. On that note, I'd like to end this session here. Thank you.